Good morning, you two. Welcome back to Maths with me. Today we are learning about fractions again, but we are learning all about how to recognise a third. So our steps to success today are: I know that when thinking about thirds, the whole has been split into 3 equal parts. I know a third is one of 3 equal parts, and I know a third can be written like this: 1 part out of 3 parts altogether. Quick question, what is the posh maths word for the top number in a fraction? It begins with an N. A numerator. Well done. And it tells us how many equal parts you are taking out of the whole. And what is the posh maths word for the bottom number in a fraction? It begins with a D. Denominator, well done. And it tells you how many equal parts the whole has been split into. So when we're looking at thirds, we divide our whole into groups of 3. The circle has been divided into 3 equal parts. One of the parts is shaded. This is a third. We can write a third like this: 1 out of 3. 1 part is shaded out of 3 altogether. Look at my fraction circle. Pause the video here and fill in the missing gaps. When you've filled in the missing gaps, unpause the video and we can solve together. The circle is split into how many equal parts? 1, 2, 3. Each part is worth a third. Well done. This can be written as 1 out of 3. Who got that? Well done, you. 3 friends are sharing a pizza. The pizza is split into how many equal parts? Yes, 3. Each part is worth a third. And can you write that fraction for me on a piece of paper or on your whiteboard, or trace it on the table? Well done. 1 out of 3. Good job, Year 2. Here is a rectangle split into thirds. Can you quickly draw my shape, and can you shade in a third? Pause the video here while you do that. Come back when you're ready. Okay, welcome back. So I've asked you to shade in a third of my shape. So you could have shaded in your shape like this. That's a third. Or you could have shaded in this part of my shape. Because that's also a third. You could have shaded in this part of my shape. That's also a third. So as long as you have one of my thirds shaded in, you would be correct. Have a look at these pictures. Which pictures represent 1/3? This word represent means show. So which pictures show a third? Let's look at the circle. Does the circle show a third? Yes, because 1 part is shaded out of 3 equal parts. This word is key. Remember, fractions have to be equal parts. And if we're talking about thirds, we need 1 part out of 3. Look at this next shape. Does that show a third? Who thinks yes? Who thinks no? Why do you think it does not show a third? Well done. It doesn't show a third because look, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So what fraction is that? A quarter. Well done, because 1 part out of 4 is shaded. Let's look at the next rectangle. Does that show a third? Yes, because there are 3 equal parts and 1 of them is shaded. And let's look at the triangle. Does that represent a third? No, why not? Good, there are 4 equal parts. So what fraction is shown there? 1 quarter. Fantastic. This is your Maths for Today Year 2, recognising a third. We have gone through most of these questions together this morning, so hopefully you'll be nice and successful today. You've got some problems to solve and some challenges as well, and if you want an extra challenge after your maths, there are more linked below. Come back at the end of your lesson if you want to see how to solve those trickier challenge questions. Bye, Year 2. Let's read the first problem. Dora says, I have 1/3 of pizza because I have 1 slice and there are 3 slices left. Do you agree with Dora? Explain your reasoning. So, if Dora has 1 slice and there are 3 slices left over, how many slices are there altogether? 4. Is she correct? Does she have 1/3 of pizza? No. If we draw what Dora has got using our squared paper, so here's Dora's pizza. This is how it has been cut. There are 4 slices. Here are my 4 slices. Dora has got 1 slice. There are 3 pieces of pizza left over. What fraction of the pizza has Dora got? 1 quarter. Well done. Let's solve the second problem. Alex, Annie and Whitney each show a piece of ribbon. Whitney shows half of her whole ribbon. Alex shows 1/4 of her whole ribbon. Annie shows 1/3 of her whole ribbon. Whose whole piece of ribbon is the longest and whose is the shortest? Explain why. Now I'm going to solve this with you using pictures. So let's start with Whitney's ribbon. She is showing us half of her whole ribbon. So here is Whitney's ribbon. Whitney is showing half of her whole ribbon. How many more parts do I need to make her whole ribbon? 2, because the denominator is a 2. That means her ribbon has 2 equal parts. She's already got part 1 and here's part 2. So that's Whitney's ribbon. Alex shows 1/4 of her whole ribbon. How many parts does Alex's whole ribbon have? 4. So let's make the rest of Alex's ribbon. Part 2, Part 3 and Part 4. Annie shows 1/3 of her whole ribbon. If I need thirds and I've already got 1/3, how many more thirds do I need? 2. Well done, because 1 plus 2 is 3. So now we have represented the problem with the picture, it's much easier to see. Whose whole piece is the longest? Is it Whitney's, Alex's, or Annie's ribbon? Alex's is the longest because Alice has got 4 parts to her ribbon. Whose is the shortest? Whitney's, because she has 2 parts to her ribbon. Well done, Year 2, great work.